Today I'm going to teach you how to write the common exception word the. It's the very first common exception word that comes in the Year 1 list, and we're going to learn it in a multisensory way. Now, for those of you that maybe haven't seen my other videos, multisensory is just a way of learning something using different senses, and if you learn things in that way, you've got more chance of making the information stick. So, without any delay, let's get started. So in this video, we are learning to write the in cursive writing, which basically means it's joined up. If your child doesn't do joined up writing, I have got a print version of this video. So if you click on my playlist, there is a print playlist and you will find it there. Now, the other thing I want to say, because I've just noticed while setting up for this video, my paper on my page, as you see, is very straight. Some children will prefer to have their paper at an angle, and that is perfectly fine. I have just got this so straight because it makes it easier for you to watch. Believe me, it doesn't make it any easier for me to write on, but there you go. It's fine, we can manage. So, we're using our normal routine, so it's the same one that we use when we're practicing our letter writing. So let's get started. First of all, we trace it. Then we copy it. Cover it up. No peeking. Finally, pop your pen in the start position, close your eyes and have a go at writing it. Now, as I've said before, and it's something that I will keep saying, I've shown you this once as an example. Your child may need to practice this over and over and over again. That is fine. Don't make them sit there for ages and do it, but just maybe try it. Maybe just pick one word each week and just get them to try it a few times each day, or at the beginning or the end of the day. There's loads of other stuff you can do. They could write it in sand, they could create a salt tray, they can trace it on their hand, they can trace it on your back. So many other things you can do, and what I'm going to eventually do is build up a bank of resources on this channel with suggestions of all those different things that you can do. But that is the first part of our routine. So once they've got the hang of that, and don't rush them, we're going to have a go at writing it on a line. But the T and the H go into the upper zone, which means that they stretch right up to the top of the line. So let's have a look. So we've got the T and the H, and then the E stays within the middle zone, so it only goes halfway up. You'll have probably heard me say it time and time again, this template has got the middle zone shaded just to make it easier to see. So we'll have another go. If they're struggling with this, just remember you can write it on the line and they can trace it. If you make it too hard, they'll be reluctant to do it, but we've just got to push them ever so slightly out their comfort zone. But they need to feel that they've achieved this. So here we go. So we've written it on the line. The next step, when they've done that and they're feeling comfortable, get them to say the letter names as they write it. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But the reason we say the letter names rather than the sound of the letters is because some letters actually have more than one sound. Like if you think of the word was, the A in was makes an O sound, whereas the letter names always stay the same. They don't change. So this is a really good strategy to learn, or a practice to get into, for any children that struggle with spelling or that have dyslexia. It just gives them that one point of reference that doesn't change because the letter name always stays the same. So I'll show you now. So what you could do, T, H, E. And after they've written it, get them to say the word the. T, H, E, the. Again, practice it as much as you need. You don't need to watch me doing it. So I'm going to move on to the next bit. Now the next step is using this word in a sentence. So my sentence is just going to be a short one. Sit on the mat. So sit on the mat. Now, you might find that your child struggles with punctuation. They might struggle with putting finger space in the correct place. Something you can do to help this is, when they're writing a short sentence like this one, get them to do this. So I'm going to show you. So you would put a finger or a thumb up for every word in that sentence. So sit on the mat 3 times. Sit on the mat. Sit on the mat. Now the gaps between my fingers show where the finger spaces go. And then at the end we know that there's going to be a full stop. Okay, so get them to do that. Now we're going to write it. I'm just going to move my page up a little bit. Here we go. Sit. So we always start with a capital letter. S. And then the I and the T. Sit on, which is an O and an N. The. That's our word. T, H, E, the. Finally, mat. T stretches up into the upper zone. There we go. And we end it with a full stop. If you're looking and thinking, oh, Vicky, this is just all too much, don't worry. Do what you can. It is perfectly fine for you to write that sentence and get your child just to write the word the. Do whatever you need to do. You know your child or the person that you're working with better than anyone else. So use your judgment on this. Just because I'm saying do this, obviously, you know, you don't have to do that. You can adapt it. Now, the next step. So we've done some spelling. We're going to have a go at now using what we've done to help us with reading. So, I would suggest, grown-ups, that you do this bit. Just let me pop my pen down. Grab a pair of scissors. My scissors look lethal. So hopefully this will come out okay on camera. I am going to cut off this sentence that I have done. So I'm just going to cut along the top. You can always write this out on a separate sheet of paper, but I'm just showing you this to save time. Cut along this bit so you've got your sentence. Cut off that end bit, we don't need that. So what you have is you have your sentence now. Now, I'm going to try and show you this. It's going to be a bit tricky to do from this angle, but if you've got your child sat next to you, you'll be able to do this quite easily. It's just a bit more tricky to show on camera. So, what you're going to get them to do, you're going to cut up each of these words. And as you cut that word, you're going to get them to say what the word is. So you might want to do a bit of practice first and read it with them and get them to point to each word and read it. So sit on the mat. Please don't point with the scissors. And then what you're going to do is as you cut the word, they are going to say it. So I'm just going to hold it at an angle just so that it's easier for me to show you. So we have got this first word, sit. Next word, on. Next word, the. And then the next word, mat. Just be careful with this bit, don't chop your fingers. We want that full stop separate. I'll show you why in a minute. Then you're going to shuffle it around. Make sure that the words are facing the correct way so that they're quite easy to read. Okay, you can play all sorts of games with this. You can say, can you find me the word that says mat? And get them to point to it. Or you can just go on to the next step, which is getting them to put the sentence back together. And as they do it, get them to say the words. So, ask them first, can you remember what the sentence was? Hopefully they can. If not, just prompt them. Ask them to find the first word. So, sit. Okay. Get them to say it as they do it as well, because sometimes some children just whiz through it and like, yeah, I've done it. But we're getting them to read it. This is really good reading practice. Sit. Next word. On. Right, where is it? If they struggle, see if they can figure out what on starts with. You know, what sound can you hear at the beginning of on? On. Oh, it's an O. Right. Which one starts with an O? So here we go. On. The next word, the. Oh, it's our word of the week that we've been learning. Where is it? Can you spot it? Yes, you can. You are a superstar. You can tell what I'm like when I'm working with children, can't you? And the next one, mat. And then, oh, what have you forgotten at the end of your sentence? Our full stop. So, there's some top tips there that will help you not only reading and spelling the word the, but you can apply this to any words that your children are struggling with. Get them to have a go. If you've enjoyed this, please make sure that you hit like and subscribe to my channel. My plan is to do at least one new word every week. So, hopefully, I'll see you next week. Bye.